Hello and welcome to my first video on Watch Dogs Legion Zombies. I know, that kind of caught me off guard too. When I heard there was a zombie mode, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be shit, I'm not going to lie to you, but actually it turned out to be pretty good. And I'm just going to show you this is kind of like almost like my Watch Dogs Legion video where I just describe like how cool it is, because I don't know, I think these are called video essays, I really don't know, but I think this is just some cool shit, and the way this zombie game mode is done is pretty good, honestly. Well, without further ado, let's get into the video. So here we are on the menu. You basically start off, you can just matchmake with anybody and everybody, pretty much like a normal Watch Dogs Legion multiplayer game. But at the start, you only have pistols, but you can either pay the Z credits, which is what you get from collecting supplies, and get a specific kind of tool, which is randomized at the start, or you can get something random for 0, but you never know. It could be something amazing or something like a crowbar, which isn't that great. But you see this, every now and again, this is my only complaint about the game, you always end up in a loading screen like this, where technically you're in the game, but it never actually lets you in for a while, and I don't understand why it does this. Like, as you can see, everybody's loaded into the game now, but now it's just taking forever, and we can move and everything like that, and you can hear the zombies around, but it takes forever. It kind of almost feels like this loading screen. But aside from the long-ass loading screens and the glitches from time to time, the atmosphere of this game, I love it. So every time you load into a different level, there's different weather conditions and a different spawn point. There are, like, enough that I've been through just, like, every single one by just playing the game for a couple hours. But every single one makes it feel different based on the weather. As you can see here, I'm walking through a park full of zombies, and the smog just makes it horrifying. Like, I was scared the whole run through. The only thing I could do was use the ping to try not to run into any big hordes. And like, just the atmosphere of it, like, I have to conserve my bullets, I can't be running out of rounds left and right. And you can see right here, this guy, there are specialty zombies. That guy can call in the horde, and then if you can see farther in the back right there, that guy that I'm shooting at, he basically just explodes like you've seen. And then there are armored zombies, which are just harder to shoot in the face, more or less. But this variety can lead to a deadly combination, especially in big numbers. So it leads you to really have to work together with your teammates, even if you don't know them. And it leads you to stay mobile. It's not like any other game where like you're a zombie killing machine and you can just mow down horde after horde. You just have a couple rounds and you have to get these supplies and get out, and that's your entire goal. So it really lends more to like the scavenging side of everything, which I really enjoy. And what makes it even more intense is 2 hits from the zombies and you're done. You're down, you're out. Because you're going to see right here in a second, we made the fatal mistake of running into this horde. And with no bullets and outnumbered, there's no chance that we're going to make it out of here alive. All I have is my pipe, and I'm not going to be able to save my friend. Another thing about this game, and all Watch Dogs games really, aside from the first one, because we can all agree the first one was pretty bad, the freedom and choice of movement of how you move around the levels and how you traverse them or get around issues is very open and free. Just like in the normal game, you have access to everything from cranes to cars to lifts. And in this game especially, this game mode, you can make great use of them. You can see here a bunch of my friends are cornered by zombies, so I'm using the crane to go pick them up. And it just lends really well to using different methods of transportation. So that way you can just get around issues and avoid them instead of tackling them head on. Did have a little accident just there, but I do end up being okay and recovering. But at certain points in this game, you really feel like you're just in a movie scene. I mean, just watch this.
Going to check their last position.
Cars are also another thing in this game that are rare and they're very useful, but they can also be destroyed very, very easily. If you run into like a small horde, like that small horde right there, if I drove through that, this car would be done for. So you learn how to like just basically avoid and evade these hordes because it's not good news for anything. So it really does, like, once again, like I've pointed out so many times, it really does lead you just like racing down these streets, jumping, running, driving, avoiding hordes. You really feel like this is like, I don't want to say the best zombie game because it definitely isn't by any means, but it definitely has the feel of like what I think a zombie game should be. Running, hiding, avoiding. It's just the gameplay is kind of lacking with the fact that you're just looking for these supply crates and then you get them and then you go back out and get more of them, and that's basically the gameplay loop. You can see right here I'm using this turret to like just mow down these zombies, which once again, now all these security implementations that like in the main game really like you can just like kind of avoid or just deactivate and run around, they actually come in very, very useful, because in the main game I don't find myself using these too often. But in this game mode, you definitely find yourself using the turrets and the drones a lot more to kill or lure zombies away.
Please exit immediately.
For instance, like right here, you can hear the car giving the warning that it's been overly damaged, and if we hit like one more zombie, it's over with. But if I just hop out real quick and use this drone to clear the way, boom, and now we're through. And it's really just about how you use the tools that they give to you. Even though my teammate did screw up here and managed to crash the car again. And my favorite tool has to be the freaking robot bees. They are in the game too, like the main game, but look at this. Just destroy this horde with robot bees. It has to be my favorite utility that you can get out of all like the randomly assigned ones. And these little supply crates are always useful too, because you can just stack, like, there's no limit as far as I can tell. You can just stack abilities, like, one on top of another. And they are spread out enough to where you don't feel like you're super overpowered. like if you get more than like 3, because like I personally in the game I've never gotten more than like 3 in it, like in one single like supply run. And the time limit also keeps you good on that. Like, you know, like you can't go running through the city just at your leisure. You have a set time that you have to be at this extraction zone, which is at a set place on the map. So you have to be really mindful of that as well. But once again, favorite piece of equipment, just clearing these zombies out with these robot bees. This right here is one of the more tense extractions that we've had that I've had while playing with some people. Because if you don't stick together, like you see here, it never ends well if you don't stick together. Because all these zombies group up and he falls right in on top of them. And like, we gotta go, like we just gotta go. It's time. And once again, like, I don't know how else to explain it other than this feels like a proper zombie game. Like, the way I feel like it should be played or, like, should be set up. Like, running through the streets, and, like, weapons are powerful, but they don't last long. And you just, like, gotta go. You can't stay in one spot and just be, like, a zombie-killing powerhouse like in every other game. You just gotta keep moving. You gotta evade, avoid, and if you have to, kill. But teamwork really does make the dream work. If you stick together with your team and you push through the hordes together, you can and will just like destroy anything in your path. But you have to stick next to each other. And you can see right here the extraction zone is covered in zombies. But now it's time for the Doom music to kick in and us to start slaughtering. Yeah, that's essentially the game. The rest of this is just gonna be like that's the fun. This is the fun part about the game: finding new and creative ways to traverse the city and stay out of the way of the zombies. Like with this one, we have a lift, a little scissor lift that we've been driving around the city, and this works far too well. It's slow, so that's the cost you pay, but you can just completely avoid zombies like this. Because for some reason the bomb zombies won't attack you on this. And at the same time, you can just put it up or down to get up on top of buildings or just get inside of compounds without a care in the world. Just make sure not to run over any of the bomb-carrying zombies, like those guys. Because that spells disaster for you. There's always a few extraction points that are always chaotic. Because I think there's only like maybe 5 set ones. Or like, that's how many I've seen at least. And like, they just repeat themselves. Or like they're on a random rotation. But this bridge one is always pretty hectic. There's not a ton of zombies always on the bridge, but it's always the enemies coupled with the zombies that just make it a very dangerous extraction zone. But as long as you have a vehicle or you can take control of the drones, like you see here, you're mostly fine. But it's just all out chaos trying to get out of this area.
search to kill every last one of them.
Once again, just the atmosphere and like the feel of this game, like this zombie mode, is just in my personal opinion, it's kind of unmatched in like the zombie like genre. It's definitely not a good zombie game. It's just a DLC that they just kind of like put in almost no effort into and it's thrown together. Because you can see like there's like obvious issues with it, but I love the freaking atmosphere in it, like driving in the dark through hordes, or just everything about it. Just like running past hordes of zombies and mowing down what you can to get through. But yeah, that's about my review for this game. I'm not very good at video essays, which I'm pretty sure is what these are called, like video game essays, like just talking about a game. But hopefully I'll get better and improve so it can be more entertaining for you guys. But till then, you're gonna have to deal with this semi-okay way of doing it. And also, I feel like my editing's a bit weird, and my pacing, like the whole video is a bit weird. I always do better with live stream, like just live talking out of my ass, you know? But yeah, you guys can just enjoy the rest of the clips that I have.